What's up, everybody? After I shot my video in which I told a large part of my story, I was just thinking about it and I decided that I wanted to make another video where I kind of did a little bit deeper dive into the story of my what I call ethnic awakening. So I decided to go ahead and share some more of those details and just kind of some of my thought processes, as well as how I've continued to just progress in my understanding and acceptance of myself, and just how I've been changing moving forward. And so if you didn't watch that video, here's just a quick recap to get us to that pivotal conversation that I was able to have with some of my friends. I'm adopted from South Korea, raised in Iowa, which is a predominantly white area, and so I grew up not really liking that Asian part of myself. I didn't want to be seen as different then, whether it was from my friends or from my family, or just, I didn't want to be seen as different. But then on top of that, at that time, I don't think I'd be able to articulate it like this, but now I see the ways in which I felt the microaggressions towards Asian people, and so I didn't want that, and I didn't want to be associated or seen as that, and so I suppressed that kind of part of my life. I didn't do anything apart from eat Chinese food that I would associate with being Asian and stuff like that. I just ran from Asian culture. I tried to appear as white as I possibly could. And as I continued to journey through life, it just didn't really work out, and it started manifesting in ways like anxiety and depression and things like that, along with other causes for those things. But I do believe that that suppression of myself, that trauma that I had back as a child, that I didn't identify as trauma or identify as something that I needed to work through, those all were playing a part in me not being comfortable in my own skin, me just really struggling to accept and love myself. So anyways, fast forward to seminary. I'm in my early to mid 20s at this point, and I'm having a conversation with some of my best friends, Nick, who is of Hispanic descent, and William, who is half black, half white. And I don't remember why we were talking about this, but I brought it up. I told them that there's been a number of times throughout my life, like from the time that I was a teenager, I feel like might have been some of the earlier times in which I started to feel these things, but then also into adulthood and things like that. There was something that I thought was kind of strange that would take place. You see, there would be times where I'd be out in public, and then I would see an Asian kid, and I felt as though my heart was reaching out to them, and I felt like we were tethered together, and I didn't really understand why. I thought it was pretty weird, but I just this deep compassion. It's hard to describe, but those words are the closest things that I can do to articulate what I was thinking and feeling when I saw them. But I didn't understand it. And so I shared that with them. Again, I don't remember why we were talking about that, but my friend Nick, he told me that he's felt that exact same way at different points in his life. And for him, he realized that what he was doing was projecting his thoughts and feelings onto that kid. He was seeing himself in that young person, and then therefore also perceiving that young person's experiences, and potentially wanting and desiring to protect them from those kinds of realities that he had experienced. And I absolutely see and understand that. And so that conversation really started unlocking a lot of things in me. And so the three of us really started having a lot more conversations about ethnic identity. I think all of us did a lot of hard work in that area of our lives in I would say especially in our early to mid 20s, but just continuing to learn, grow, and understand. And so from that point, I really started to do a lot of internal work. And in my previous video, I also mentioned that I had done a lot of that in counseling as well. I've seen a number of counselors in my life, but I've only had one that's really dug into my adoption story, and that has done wonders in my life to understanding who I am, understanding why I think certain thoughts, understanding just the ways in which I have viewed myself. And so I see it as untangling a lot of things that have been tangled up for years and years and years. And so I have journeyed and continued to accept myself and accept my Asian identity, and not just accept it but embrace it, and now to celebrate it. And so this awakening has absolutely changed my life. It's changed the ways in which I view myself, the ways in which I interact with others. It's changed the way that I view other minorities. It's changed the way in which I want to contribute to conversations and create things, whether photo or videos, that help continue to further the conversation, so that things aren't just dying off, so that the Asian American and Pacific Islander community isn't just a hot topic because the news says so, but it is something that is worth being celebrated, as well as something that's also worth seeing and supporting because of the hardships that are taking place. And so yeah, it's really changed a lot of things within me, but for me, it all goes back to that conversation with my friends Nick and William, and I just think it's a really beautiful picture. An Asian, an Hispanic, and a black man coming together and journeying together, and we don't know or understand what it means to be black, what it means to be Hispanic, what it means to be Asian, but we know what it means to be a minority. We know what it means to be treated in different ways just because of the way that we look. We know what it means to be different than a majority of the people that are in the rooms that we're in. And so I'm super thankful for them and for their friendship as we've continued to journey, beyond that conversation in our early 20s. Here we are in our later 20s, and we are continuing to journey together. They've been an instrumental part in this video series, behind the scenes, and support and encouragement to me. So yeah, I absolutely celebrate that. So I just felt like I wanted to share this video, share some of those stories, in the hopes that maybe it would spark something for somebody else. Maybe it would help them understand some of their thought processes, and maybe it'll help them continue to progress forward, so that they can love others well, but arguably more importantly, love themselves well. And so I again hope this was helpful, and yeah, I just appreciate you taking the time to watch and to listen.